r/AskReddit. People that have restarted in a new city, what are your tips? Nobody knows you, so you can try to change some habits. I was too shy to talk to people and usually just waited for them to approach me, but when I moved I started talking to people first. It was hard, but I'm glad I tried. Changed my eating habits too. Think what kind of a person you wanna be and just try it, see how close you can get. The one thing that really surprised me was the fact that I didn't love the new city immediately. It was bigger than I was used to, more expensive, and the job had such higher expectations than my last, same exact job. It all took some getting used to, and that took longer than I thought it would. But I loved exploring little hills and out-of-the-way parks, and one day it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was so in love with this new place, I couldn't imagine ever living anywhere else. Well, of course, now I do, but my love affair lasted a long time. But I think it's a place for younger people, a place to explore and find your way around the city and find yourself. Others have made some really good suggestions, but I think I had to be more comfortable with me before I could be comfortable in a new place. If you're moving to a new country, learn the language. I can't tell you how much of a difference it makes. Even if you can communicate with people in your language/another mutual language, speaking to someone in their mother tongue makes the person feel more comfortable and more willing to open up to you. There's also the added benefit of meeting friends in your language school if you choose to go that route. Try to be a yes person for the first 6 to 8 weeks. Anytime someone asks you to do something or go somewhere, within safety and financial reason, say yes. Even if you don't really care for that activity or type of food or whatever, say yes and go. It will help you meet people outside of your immediate circle, and once you have seen people socially a couple of times, you can figure out who you are interested in spending more time with, and asking them to hang out is less awkward. Just remember, every event isn't going to be the most fun you ever had. It's okay to have just a nice time, because that's laying the groundwork for those really fun nights. I relocated from North America to Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam to start a business 9 years ago. So, maybe a bit more extreme than intended by the question? Well, here goes anyway. 1. Get your finances in order before moving. Work out short-term housing before committing to long-term housing. 2. Integrate. 3. Stay out of trouble, do your paperwork and abide by the law. 4. Read up on the ways immigrants are vulnerable in your home country. Be prepared to face the same challenges regardless of how good you are at number 2 and number 3. 5. Choose your friends carefully, better to have fewer friends than the wrong friends. Maybe do some volunteer work to meet positive, productive people. All boring, basic stuff. Relocating within Vietnam is pretty much the same procedure. Use Tinder or Bumble to meet new people. Then tell them you love them. They'll probably say, "I think we're just friends." Bam! You have a new friend. I have done it several times. Find a routine. Find a cafe/pub where the owners/servers look like people you would like to hang with and get personal with them. Find some community groups. Keep seeing all the sites. Join some meetups, help out for a cause, constantly ask strangers for directions rather than use GPS. Moved around a few times, different cities, different countries. Few tips. Join stuff you're into. Sports, drama, drinking club, whatever. Get to meet people with similar interests and get a base in the city. There's likely a meeting group for people from where you're from, or at least a sports bar that shows your country's/team's games. Even if you've no interest in the sport, there'll be others there same as you. Join stuff you want to be into but didn't for whatever reason. You'll have the time, and who's going to know you here? Get a job with food delivery place, like Uber Eats even part-time. You get to know the city and the best food. Rent a place short-term, couple months until you get to know what part of the city you want to live. Lovely new APTs tend to be in boring places. Get your public transport pass, the schedules, any apps for the city, emergency numbers, learn the big traffic times. You're moving to live, it's not a holiday, so enjoy your first couple of weeks but watch your money. 1. Find nearest bodega/convenience store. Say hello to the clerks. If nothing else, it's nice to be friendly with those that you see on a regular basis. 2. Say hello to your neighbors. You don't have to be best friendly friends, but it's good that they recognize you, in the event that you need someone to call an ambulance for you. 3. Find a good laundromat, if your new place does not have in-house laundry facilities. 4. Go for walks. You will learn about your new neighborhood and also get some exercise in. 5. Try to enjoy your new environment. Being in a new place is exciting. Best of luck in your new place. Keep busy. No matter how homesick you get, stick with it. Grind it out and know you moved for a reason. My guess is to make a change. So be the change. As dumb as it sounds, be the change you want to see. There will never be a place that feels like home. But home will never give you a fresh start. What I've noticed from being a military brat and moving multiple times in my younger life to now being a traveling welder and continually moving, you will always be yourself. But you don't have to be who you once were or carry the weight of the regrets and mistakes that are making you want to move in the first place. As the old saying goes, you live and you learn. Everybody makes mistakes, but if you don't learn from said situations, good or bad, you will forever make the same ones. It's scary, honestly. The thing that eats at me the most is every time I have to move is the feeling of being alone. But every time I do, I learn something new about myself that I would have never thought was possible. As scary as it is, it's the most gratifying feeling, telling yourself, hell yeah, I did that and I made it. Bumble BFF has led me to great friends but can feel awkward at first. Try to find some kind of social group that pertains to your interests. It's easier in college, that's what I did, and there were plenty to choose from. But there are often plenty of groups for non-students if you look around on social media for advertising and stuff. Things like volunteer work or local activist type groups can be easier options to look for. That's how I started making friends. Don't buy a house. Rent for a year or two, until you figure out the best place to live. If you can, move with at least 3 months rent/bills/expenses saved. If you're not going right into a job, you're going to want that extra cash. If you haven't picked a place to live, and don't know anyone, walk around different neighborhoods you're considering before you move, or aim for a short-term lease to begin with. Move with more money than you think you need. Get comfortable doing things on your own. You won't be alone forever, but there will be times where you find yourself with no one to hang out with and nothing to do. Go out anyway. Just wander. It's incredible how many cool things you can find when you just leave yourself open to possibilities. Push yourself to explore. I used to do something I called the alphabet game. I'd hop on my bike and look for the letters of the alphabet on street signs in order and turn when I came across them, right at A, left at B, right at C, etc. Just to push myself into areas I wouldn't otherwise find. Don't be afraid to visit the tourist spots. When you get guests from out of town, they'll want to see them and you'll want to familiarize yourself with the coolest stuff and know what to skip. If your lifestyle allows, get a dog. They get you out of the house and are a great way to meet people and will help curb loneliness when it pops up. Just make sure you can give it a happy and healthy life. Some cities are far more dog-friendly than others. Ride a bicycle every chance you get. Explore on that bike, and go everywhere. It's amazing how quickly you'll feel at home knowing every nook and cranny, every secret, and seeing up close and personal the details you miss while driving. Don't move in with your cousin, he is addicted to coke, will quit his job and steal your things. Immediately start mapping out the city mentally. Restarting in a new city won't help the stuff that makes the current one bad go away magically. Sure, initially it'll feel different, but eventually without a real change any city will become the same. Work on yourself while restarting and try and fix what made you want a restart. Do not start a relationship with someone who you met on Tinder because you didn't want to be alone in a new city and then let the relationship spin out of control and turn out that she's kinda insane and very manipulative, and then your first 9 months in London are shit and now a whole borough of London is ruined for you by memories of an abusive ex. Also, find a coffee shop you like that opens late. Nothing like getting some work done while drinking coffee on a rainy night. Go do what you like doing. Get out of the house. Everything else will fall together in due time. Actually restart. Don't bring your old shit with you. Learn the new city and enjoy what it offers. If you want different results, don't do the same in the new city. Different/better actions, different/better results. My father worked as a diplomat, so we moved around a lot. One way I got used to a new city or even country was go into the city and get lost. I would get off on a random bus or train stop and proceed to look around, talk to people, enter bars or shops you haven't been to before. This often got me used to the place much faster than school or other comforts like friends or hobbies did. Find the best cheap bar and everything else will fall in place. I've started in a new city 3 times in my life as an adult. Here are the 2 tools that have served me well. Meetup.com. To break into your target social networks, bestplaces.net. To do cost of living comparisons in detail to help you prepare financially for the move. Don't do it right before a pandemic. Know your neighbors. Treat them nice. Depending on how old you are and where you are in life, it's good to get a job where you can meet people and interact. You'll make friends so much faster. When I first moved to Boston, I'm so happy I didn't take the office job and instead worked at a grocery store. I met so many good friends because of that, including many girlfriends. Do food delivery so you learn to get around without GPS. Start volunteering. Back in the day. But I got an apartment answering an ad from the left-wing cool kid paper in town, Chicago, and then joined sports leagues. Today would be meet-up groups with humans who share your interests. Do a bunch of them and then you can pare down as you find your niche peeps, book clubs, hiking clubs, gaming, whatnot. Don't be afraid. I did it in 2000 on my own, moving from Denver to Chicago for a job, and I knew no one. It was fun and super liberating and I felt very empowered. Trivia bars. Or activity night style bars. As much as you might hate it, some of them will be like, hey, we need a team over here. Any individuals? And help you guys join, almost like a project in school. Keep coming back to the bars and you'll either make friends with the team trivia members, or the people who host it/bartenders. Find places you like and return to it, and eventually you'll meet regulars there who will recognize you. It's gonna take a bit of time. Here's the list that I used when moving city in the UK recently that covers the logistical side of things. Water, set up an account with utility provider electric and gas, set up an account with utility provider Wi-Fi, set up an account with provider 2 weeks before you move in. Doctor, call your GP to register with them. Dentist, register with a new dentist. Council tax, tell the old local authority you've moved out and tell your new local authority that you moved into the area. Driving license, tell them about change of address if you have one. Contents insurance, buy this car insurance, tell them about your change of address TV license, buy one if you want to watch iPlayer and slash, or tell them about your change of address. I started over in a new city in 2019. If possible, visit the city first. I saved myself a lot of grief by visiting first and knowing the general area. If you can't visit, check out Google Maps. Find a job before you move if possible. I found a job with a chain that had a location in the new city. I didn't need to be retrained, so that was one less thing to stress about. The job was the same. I set it up so I had 2 weeks before I had to start so I could unpack and get settled. When you pack, get rid of a bunch of stuff. Have the essentials, like a change of clothes, toiletries, small appliances, and food ready to unpack the first day you arrive. You will be so tired and not want to dig for stuff. Bring a small pack of toilet paper and hand soap for the new place. Try to have at least a pot and a pan, some rubber scrapers, and plates if you can. I'd also pack blankets someplace easy to get out so you can just curl up and sleep if you need. Moving is stressful, so you want all the stuff you need easy to get to before you unpack entirely. Locate the grocery store. Also find some local restaurants for those first few days. Don't forget to set up your utilities the first day. That's a must. Find a club if you didn't move with a buddy. Get out your first weekend and go see the sights. Get used to your new environment. The first few weeks just kinda suck, so try to get some good stuff in there. If you can, try to find a club or two or activities/hobbies before you move. Something to look forward to and one less thing to stress about. When you first get there, pick a landmark that's visible from most of the city or your neighborhood. A building, monument, etc. When you're learning to navigate that first month or two, that will help you. Make sure you can get home from and get to the landmark. That way, if you ever get lost, just head toward it and then you can get home. Eliminate some panic and stress. This was one of the most helpful things I did when I moved. Get to know your immediate neighborhood. My family and I moved last year from the US South to the PNW. I went through a period of feeling very homesick and disconnected to my surroundings. I changed my mood by really making my neighborhood my own. I started talking and becoming friendly with the people nearby that I come into contact with on a regular basis, like my pharmacist, barista, crossing guard, etc. I get out every day and go run in my local park, and it helps me to feel connected to where I'm at. I try to look around and remind myself that this is my home. I think this all sounds goofy, but it helped a lot. I have moved many times. I know that I will hate my new environment for about 3 weeks, so I plan for that. I stock up on food I will enjoy, have something I like to drink, and arrange for entertainment, books, music, TV, whatever you enjoy. After 3 weeks I start to feel more comfortable and do lots of the following. I always find the library closest to home and get a card right away. Get a map and learn your way around the city. Explore. Read the local newspaper, even a throwaway one, find the rummage sales, antique or car shows, free concerts, food fairs, etc. This is tougher during the pandemic, but will pay off in the long run. Pursue hobbies or start a new one. This should connect you with some like-minded people. Take a class, perhaps pertaining to your hobby. Join a professional organization or some other organizations that pertain to your interests, example, church groups, book clubs, music venues, science lectures, etc. Find what the new city is known for and join in. If it's art, go to the art shows. If it's roses, then learn where to see them, etc. As you learn your way around, invite others to join you, even if it's just a trip to the farmer's market, a stroll through a park, or shopping for wine. When you invite someone, they're more likely to reciprocate. Be generous with your smile, encouraging words, a friendly demeanor. Don't try to change the city you now live in into the city you just left. Don't get attached to the physical address of the place you call home. Get attached to smaller things inside your home, like a pillow that has traveled around with you, or a coffee cup that you painted. Over the years, a reverse trend will happen, which IMO is more meaningful. You will remember where you painted the cup and where you bought the pillow. So in a way you remember all the good stuff, both the address and associated events. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then you should like and subscribe.